evening, children. I am your teacher Glide, and I will be your teacher in Science 5. But before we start to our lesson, let us have first a review. What was our lesson last meeting? Very good. About the laws of motion. So, before anything else, let us first have these words: conductors and insulators. When we say conductors, a material that easily allows heat to pass through. And when we say insulators, a material that does not allow heat to pass through. Today, we are going to talk about the conductors of heat and electricity. So, children, are you ready to listen? So, set up straight and face on the board. So, we have thermal and electrical conductors and insulators. Thermal conductors are materials that can transfer heat easily, while thermal insulators do not allow heat to pass through them. Example of thermal conductor are stainless pan. This kind of object can transfer heat easily. And example of thermal insulator are wood. Wood do not allow heat to pass through them. Do you understand? Okay. The way a material conducts heat depends on whether it is solid, liquid, or gas. Gases are poor conductors of heat because molecules are far apart, making it harder for them to collide with each other. This is needed in the transfer of heat. Molecules must be on top to be heat to be transferred easily. But because gas has its molecules far apart from each other, that is why gas is a poor conductor of heat. Do you understand? Solids conduct heat better than liquids and gases. However, some solids are better conductors of heat than other solids. Metals, especially copper and silver, are very good conductors than non-metals. So let's proceed to insulators. Energy costs money. We try to avoid wasting it. This way is caused often due to unwanted energy transfer. To reduce or stop unwanted energy transfer, we use materials that are poor conductors. A materials of this type is called insulators. Insulator is a material that do not allow heat or electricity to pass through them. You understand? So, let's proceed to polystyrene. Polystyrene is another example of good insulator because cold things can be kept and more so with hot things. So, example of polystyrene is the fiberglass. Materials are not only conductors or insulators of heat, they are too conductors and insulators of electricity. So, the good conductors of electricity, yes, of course, the metals. We have copper, iron, steel, and aluminum. The good example of insulator of electricity, the non-metals are rubber, plastic, glass, and wood. These things don't conduct electricity. Most of insulator of electricity are non-metals. Do you understand me? Okay, very good. Let's talk about the semiconductors. Semiconductors belong to a third class of materials with electrical properties between those of insulator and conductors. In pure state, semiconductors are insulators. Okay, class, remember, if the semiconductor is in the pure state, they are considered as insulators. They control the addition of specific atoms of other materials as impurities, dramatically increases a semiconductor's ability to conduct an electrical charge. Again, in the pure state of semiconductors, we consider them as insulators. But if there are addition of specific atoms or other materials impurity, they will conduct electrical charge. Example, silicon and germanium. That is the semiconductors. Do you understand? Okay, very good. Remember, a conductor transfers heat and electricity, while an insulator does not. Children, we have an activity. So, look at the picture below. Write letter C if it is conductor and write letter I if it is insulator. And I will give you 5 minutes to answer. Okay, children, let's check your answer. Number 1, we have copper. Copper is a conductor. So, let's put letter C. Number 2, we have rubber. Rubber is a insulator. So, let's put letter I. And number 3, we have wood. Wood is a insulator. So, let's put letter I. And number 4, we have aluminum. Aluminum is a conductor. Okay, very good. And number 5, we have plastic. Plastic is a insulator. So, let's put letter I. And number 6, we have steel. Steel is a conductor. So, let's put letter C. So, who have a perfect score? Okay, very good. So, that's the end of our discussion. And see you to our next meeting. Bye!